Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I am CS Jaspreet. This video is on the ICSI Foundation Program December 2020, the instruction to examinees for the computer-based examination for CS Foundation Program December 2020. Earlier I have made the videos for executive and professional program students also. Now this one is for the foundation based examination. Now this examination is computer based. It will be held on 26th and 27th December. It is again bifurcated in three parts: part A, part B, part C. All three are in this video only. So without any further ado, let's get started. The instructions begin with immediately verifying your particulars on the admit card. This is your duty. You have to check your details regarding your name, photograph, signature, admission number, name and address of the examination center, date and timing of examination. And if you find anything, any discrepancy, please immediately tell the institute at the support portal. Then you should carry your admit card and your student identity card every day. These things are very important for the examination. If you're going to sit in the examination, you need to take both of these things together. So please keep them aside one day before your examination only. Don't think that these things are not minor. These things play a very important role in your examination, in the way you actually attempt your examination. So without having any panic at the last moment, keep these things together before 1 or 2 days of your examination only. Then the superintendent of examination center and invigilators, they will check your they will check your identity at the time of entry and at the time of attendance sheet. They will check, because of the masks, everybody will be wearing the mask, so they may check your identity at the time of your attendance and at the time of the entry at the examination hall as well. Then this instruction number 4 is quite important. So when you will download your valid identity card from the SMASH portal, you have to attest it by the authorized official of the institute. But if you see that your ID card is not carrying your photograph and signature, you will affix your photograph and you will sign there, and then you will get that attested by a gazetted officer, member of ICSI, or principal of recognized school, or a manager of nationalized bank. By any one of them, you have to get it attested after fixing your photograph and by signing. But for any other reason, for any technical or practical problem, you don't have your identity card, then you can show any photo identity card which is issued by the government departments, like your passport, your driving license, your PAN card, your UID, Aadhaar card, or your voter card. But please make sure you have admit card and your student identity card. These are very important at the time of examination. Provisionally admitted students. Now there were some students at the foundation level who were provisionally admitted. There was a term and there was a condition that you will only be appearing in the examination if you regularize your registration by showing your 10+2 examination proof. So only that students are allowed to appear in the examination who have regularized their admission by submitting the proof of passing 10+2 examinations within 6 months from the date of registration. Others cannot sit. The students who have not regularized their registration, they cannot appear in this examination. Candidates are advised to visit the venue beforehand. This is quite common, to just get familiar with the venue where you're going to sit for the examination, and you have to reach the center 60 minutes before the time that you have been given, because due to social distancing, there are certain norms which you are going to follow. So reach the center at time. Next instruction says that the entry will be closed after 15 minutes of the commencement of examination, which says that no candidate shall be allowed to enter the examination after completion of 15 minutes, and you cannot leave the examination until 45 minutes are completed, right? So nobody can enter the examination after 15 minutes once the examination is started, and you're not allowed to leave the examination. You have to sit at least for 45 minutes at the examination center. Now, 9th point is important. Like if there is a request for extra time of a scribe, of a writer, if it is received by the superintendent of examination directly from any physically disabled or challenged candidate, I'm sorry, they will not be allotted any time. For that, you have to get a special written sanction from the institute, and the institute will intimate the center superintendent. So In case of a candidate who's physically disabled or challenged and he needs extra time, or he needs a scribe or writer for himself or herself, they have to directly get the permission from the institute. They cannot go there and tell the superintendent there of examination that now I need these things. These things are intimidated in advance by the institute only. So you have to take that special written sanction from the institute, not from the superintendent of examination. The institute should know that this candidate is physically disabled and he needs extra time or scribe or writer. Then 10th point says, for any special seating arrangement, again on medical grounds, you have to submit your application to Joint Secretary, Directorate of Examinations, along with the copies of supporting documents for your request through email or speed post for consideration. And no facility, including special seating arrangement, will be granted to the candidates without the permission from the institute. Whatever the superintendent of the examination center will do, he or she will do that along with the permission of the institute. So if you have any such problems, medical issues, and you want special seating arrangements, you have to write directly to the Joint Secretary, Directorate of Examination, along with your proofs. The superintendent can only allow if the institute is permitting him, right? Other than that, he cannot do this. No facility will be provided. Personal belongings like mobile phones, of course, they are not allowed, and don't take any valuable personal belongings to the examination hall, as in case they are lost or they are misplaced, the institute is not liable for all these things. Moving forward, there will be 50 MCQs of 2 marks each in each paper. You will be given 90 minutes, that is 45 minutes for each paper, and 45 minutes in case you have exemption in one of the two papers, then you will sit for 45 minutes only. The question papers will both in English and Hindi. They will be in both languages except of the paper of Business Management, Ethics and Entrepreneurship. This paper will only be displayed in English, not in Hindi. Otherwise, you will get the Hindi version of all other papers. Now, each student will be appearing for 2 sessions, that is 1 test session on each day in the same timing. There are 2 test sessions, that's why there are 2 days assigned to you. So each and every student has to appear for that. Candidates must sign the attendance sheet and for which they are appearing. Now, signing the attendance sheet is very important. If you go without signing that, you will be deemed to be absent. You have to carry your calculator with not more than 6 functions, 12 digits, 2 memories. It should be very ordinary, noiseless, and a simple calculator. Now moving forward, in case you have an exemption in any paper, no need to go and sit for that paper as you have granted the exemption. So it will be indicated, it is shown in the admit card only. But in case your exemption is not matching or there is any problem, you can write to the institute. You can directly tell them about on the support portal that there is some issue. Then every candidate is compulsory required to appear in all the papers for he or she has enrolled. So you have to come, and in case you are absent due to any reasons, that will be declared as fail. In case a candidate was granted exemption in any one of the subject, like for first day the paper 1 and 2 will be there, and for second day paper 3 or 4 will be there. So in case you have exemption in one of the papers, so what will you do? You will answer only the questions in the relevant subject or paper in which he or she is enrolled and leave the examination hall. You are going to attempt only that paper in which you are enrolled, not the one in which you are exempted. You don't have to do that paper. Then you will leave the examination hall after on the expiry of 45 minutes after clicking on the finish button, right? In case a candidate has been granted exemption in paper 1 and 2, like first day, or paper 3 and 4 second day, then he is required to appear only in the relevant subjects. If you are, as the case may be, basically you have to go and give the examinations in which you are not exempted. You don't have to sit for the papers you are already exempted in. For passing criteria, the minimum requirement is 40 marks in each paper and 50 marks in aggregate. So you have to take 40% marks in each paper and 50% marks in aggregate, and there will be no negative marking for the wrong answers. This is the good news. There's no negative marking. So there's a suggestion you should attempt all the answers because there's no negative marking. Moving further, no candidate will be allowed to carry any book, any study material, handwritten notes, Bluetooth, laptop, mobile phone, pager. Don't take all these things to the exam hall or room or premises. These are strictly prohibited. You are there for You're going there for exams, so don't take all these things along with you, and you should refrain yourself from spreading any rumors or any kind of material including examination on the social medias. You shouldn't do this. Such suspicious activities, they are brought directly to the notice of joint secretary, so don't do all such things. Then any candidate who will be in possession of the handwritten notes or material or books or anything, or if he's consulting, talking, whispering to any person, these all are unfair means. Don't adopt all such things. Don't do such things. Now, if any candidate is found to be doing any unfair means or doing anything wrong in the examination, you should know that the superintendent of examination is authorized to expel a candidate from the examination hall or room if he is doing any unfair means. And once the candidate is expelled, he or she will not be allowed to appear in the remaining papers of the examination. So please put this in mind that you don't have to do any of the wrong things or any of the things. Don't try to pass your exam by adopting any of the unfair means. And candidates' eligibility to appear in the CS Foundation program shall be subject to the provisions of Company Secretaries Regulations 1982 as enforced. So these were the general instructions. Now we will move forward to Part B. Part B tells us special instructions due to COVID-19 pandemic. Because of this pandemic, students have to come, and students and examiners have to take certain special precautions. So let's see what are these. First and foremost, candidate should not come if he or she is having any symptom or suffering from COVID-19. Before reaching the examination, you should have no such symptom. And if candidate should not come for writing if he's, first of all, she or she is tested COVID-19 positive. Whether you're symptomatic or whether you're asymptomatic, we all know that it's a communicable disease. So if you're having symptoms like fever, cough, sneezing, breathing problem, headache, running nose, you have to self-isolate yourself for the last 10 days. If you're not feeling well, for or within 14 days or if you have returned from any foreign country, please don't go to write the exams. Third point is very important. You have to take a self-declaration form along with you. When you download the admit card, there will be a self-declaration form. Along with that, you have to take the signed copy of that and you have to submit that to the Superintendent of Examination Center on the first day of the examination. So you all need to carry this self-declaration form. Then fourth point says candidates should maintain proper social distancing, and fifth point says mandatorily wear the mask and you have to cover your mouth and nose throughout the examination. Instruction number 6 says that candidates will be allowed to enter 60 minutes before the start of the examination. Then you will only be allowed after your thermal screening. Eighth point is carry your exam related documents with you like admit card, identity card, face mask, transparent water and sanitizer bottle. Sharing of personal belongings shall not be allowed, and you should not yourself do it. All of us know because of COVID-19. Then, yes, candidates will be provided the hand sanitizer to clean their hands before entering the hall and also while leaving. So the exam centers will be having their sanitizer as well. So you will be allowed to sanitize your hands. Then you should remove your mask only at the time of personal identification and during the time of signing when asked for. Don't remove it unless you're not asked for that. And sitting arrangement, that there will be, definitely it's displayed on the notice board near the entrance so you can see and go to your room. The next instruction is that you should reach the examination center in time. Don't stand in groups. Maintain proper hygiene. Please don't spit anywhere in the examination premises. You can carry your small transparent bottle of drinking water and hand sanitizer in the examination hall for personal use. So it's advisable to carry your own transparent bottle of water, drinking water, and a small hand sanitizer. And candidates, please, after using washrooms, wash your hands or sanitize your hands properly. Candidates should strictly follow the instructions given by the officials of the examination center to avoid any inconvenience or confusion or difficulty. Please don't do it. If any candidate feels unwell or you find any difficulty, immediately report to the invigilator or the center superintendent. On completion of the examination, the candidates will be permitted to move out in a systematic manner. So you will have to wait for the instructions and you cannot leave your seat until you are advised. And all the candidates are advised to cooperate with the examination functionaries for adherence to the COVID-19 and other guidelines. Moving forward to part C, important one, operating instructions. Now attempting the examination. Upon invigilator's instruction, click on the appear button to assess the instruction sheet. So if you want to assess the instruction sheet, the invigilator will tell you that then you have to click on the appear button. If you have any doubt or question regarding on the functioning of the examination window, you may seek or advice or guidance from the invigilator. They know everything and no query shall be entertained after the commencement of the examination. So before if you have any issues, please ask the invigilator. Do not close the exam window or try to restart the system at the examination center. If you have any problem, talk to the invigilator. Don't close the exam window or don't try to restart it. Each question is followed by 4 alternative answers, A, B, C, D. You have to choose the most appropriate answer and mark the same. Now, chosen answer will be highlighted and shall automatically be saved. The questions may be answered in any order within the stipulated examination time. So, there is no order to answer the questions, but once you select it, that will be saved. Candidates can make changes. They can make changes in their answer already chosen or marked by simply clicking on the other option before clicking the finish button. So before you submit your exam, before you click the finish button, if you think that no, I think this is not the answer, the other one is the answer, you can change it by clicking on that option. Automatically, it's an online system, so the one you'll click will be selected and the another one will get unselected. The fifth point is candidates shall not click done button followed by 3 warnings with finish button until they have completed all the questions, like 100 questions for both the papers and 15 in case of examination. You don't have to click on the done button if you're not done yet, because the examination shall not restart. Once you click on the finish button, it will not restart. Your test will be submitted. Your exam will be submitted. So please don't do such things. And if you have any issues, you can talk to the invigilator. Countdown clock will start on commencement of examination and same will be displayed on the top right hand corner of the exam window for the remaining. You will be viewing on your window only that this much time is left. Now, if you think that, you want to review or you want to revisit the question later, there will be a bookmark option available. You can click on that button so that after doing all the questions or in between, if you think that now, this, I have remembered that this will be the answer, you can go back. So there will be a bookmark option available. In case your PC or computer, due to any technical reasons, it gets restarts or it gets shut down, don't worry about it. Talk to the invigilator. Your answers already saved will be saved. Don't think that and you will resume from the answer from which you have left or from which the PC got restarted or shut down. Now, this point is very important that you can go for the bio break, like you can go for the washroom break after 30 minutes of the commencement of examination. You can go, but the clock will not stop. You will not get any extra time for going to bio breaks. So it is advisable not to go or not to waste your time. You can go after your examination as well once your examination ends, because the clock will keep on ticking. The second point of part C is working on examination window. First of all, you will click appear, then click display of exam window. Only one question will be displayed on the exam window. At a time, you will view just one question. Candidates can mark their choice by placing the cursor on any one of the answers and clicking through mouse thereat. So chosen option will be highlighted. Candidates can change their answer. Yes, you can change your answer before finishing. Before clicking on the finish button, you can change your answer at any time. Candidates can answer question in any order and can navigate between the questions. So there's no issue previous or next. You can answer in any order or by directly clicking on the questions which are displayed in the paper-wise summary panel. You will be given a paper-wise summary panel on the left side of the exam window. You can directly click there and go to those questions. Every particular question answered, then it will be start displaying in the green color on the summary panel. So you will see which questions you have answered. So they will be in the green color, and the questions that are not attempted and not bookmarked for review, they will be displayed without any color. There will be no color. Questions attempted and bookmarked will be in blue color, and questions not attempted but bookmarked for review will be in red color. So listen to me very carefully. There will be a question number panel, there will be a summary panel on the left side of the exam window, and you can see three colors on your questions. Green color for the questions which you have attempted, they will be shown in green color. But if you see that, okay, I have attempted but I'm not sure with the answer, and you have bookmarked that question, attempted and bookmarked for review will be shown in blue color. But you have not bookmarked it, you have not attempted it and yet you have bookmarked it, not attempted and bookmarked will be in red color. So remember that. The third point is examination submission. Now, done button shall be clicked by the candidates only when they have answered all the questions of their examination and you have intent to submit it. Then you can click the done button. It will be visible on the right hand corner, and the same will be only enabled after 45 minutes only. Then only, but if only you have completed your examination and you wanted to submit, then only click the done button. Otherwise don't click it, because after completion the candidate can click done button. It will be followed by 3 warnings with finish button, and after the conclusion of examination timing. Now if you say that, okay, the timing has been up but I have not clicked it, then it will automatically get save, finish and submit the examination. So no candidate shall be permitted to leave. Yeah, you cannot leave up to the completion of 45 minutes. You have to sit for the examination for 45 minutes. Now in case by mistake, sometimes if you click the done button, then you can return to the question paper. Don't worry about that. By clicking go to examination, there are 3 such warnings: warning 1, warning 2, warning 3 with finish button. So you will get a warning if you have done it like by mistake. But if you click on the finish button, your exam will be submitted. Remember that. Candidates shall remain cautious by clicking the finish button, and warnings on clicking finish button after warning 3, examination will be completed, finished and submitted, and after submission it shall not restart at all, and all answers marked shall be considered for the result. So please be very, very careful with that. A thank you message will appear confirming the completion, finishing and submission of examination. Candidates may give their feedback. Yeah, there will be a feedback form. If you want, you can give feedback as well. The fourth point in part C is use of rough sheet. A rough sheet will be provided to the candidates for carrying out rough work, calculation, etc. During the examination. Candidates are required to mention their name, roll number, registration number, exam date and batch time on the rough sheet. So you will be allowed to carry that during the examination. You will be provided with a rough sheet for doing any calculations or anything of that sort. Rough sheet needs to be returned. Now before, you cannot take it along home. You have to return that rough sheet, and they shall not be permitted to carry the rough sheets used or unused with them when they leave the examination hall, room or lab. You have to return it to the invigilator. The fourth point of part C says candidates should strictly follow the various written or verbal instructions and maintain the discipline. Maintenance of discipline is very important. Candidates should don't attempt to take the examination on behalf of someone else. Don't do impersonation. Be very careful with that. Don't impersonate anybody. Give or receive assistance of any kind during the examination, or communicate in any manner with other candidates or with outsiders. Don't do such things. Don't try to communicate with anybody. Don't tamper or attempt to tamper with the computer system or pose hindrance in smooth conduct of the examination. Leave the examination center without the permission of the invigilator. You cannot do this. Or you cannot use prohibited aids or carry banned items like mobile phone, Bluetooth, iPad, pump, tops, smartwatch, health band, books. Don't carry all these things. And don't attempt to copy examination questions and or examination responses from the fellow candidate or examination centers. So these are the don'ts in the examination hall, room or lab for the maintenance of discipline. Now, the most important note is the Superintendent of Examination Center is authorized to expel a candidate from the examination center for any misconduct by the candidates. Infringement with any of these instructions shall render the candidates liable for disciplinary action, which could lead to cancellation of result of the examination or studentship registration. So be very careful. Your Superintendent of Examination Center can expel you for your misconduct. Smoking, chewing of tobacco, betel, intoxicant, carrying or using a mobile phone, electronic device, it's totally banned inside the examination hall. Thank you so much for watching my video. Hope you found the video informative. Subscribe to my channel before leaving it. Thank you.